Hey Matthew, how you doing, bud?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Rocking and the rolling, as they say. How's your day going so far?
It's good.
What classes did you have today already?
My history class, we didn't have a meeting today, so I got 2 extra hours of sleep. So it was really
Ah,
nice.
did he tell you in advance?
No, I actually I looked at the announcements, and it was like, oh, we don't have a meeting today. Just do this work or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, I got 2 hours of sleep, so it felt nice.
Okay, well, a little bit more alert than normal. It never hurts anybody. That's good. All right, let's bring everybody in here. Alyssa, how we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. There we go. I see a little smile there. Tell me something good. What's been going on in your life?
This past weekend, I'm really involved in church, so I got to go to the summer camp that we go to, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it.
Where'd you go? That sounds fun.
It's up in by Big Bear. It's called Pondo. It's more like Running Springs area.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is. I've been up there many times, and I've been to plenty of church camps in my life, and I've always enjoyed those too. Very good. Kylie, good morning. How you doing? Tell me about your hair. What I think you switched your color, didn't you? Looks good.
Yeah, it's red now.
Yeah. Why'd you want to make a change? Just for fun, or?
Yeah, I was either gonna get a tattoo, a piercing, or dye my hair, so I went with that.
Okay. Well, did you just turn 18 or something?
No.
You just wanted to do it just for fun because my son, of course, when he turned 18, he thought it'd be cool to get with his buddies and get some tattoo or something because there's in Temecula, that's kind of a big thing. And so he got it. Thank God he got a tasteful one, but it was but he did that. Do a little something different there. Charlize, Christian, how we doing, everybody? Good, good, good. Let's turn our cameras on. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Get your workbook out on 5-2 and your calculator's ready to rock and roll as usual. And we will work together as we normally do. Once I get a few more people in here, we have a big class. So I always like to make sure that everybody is with me before we get started here. Okay. Awesome. Let me see. I'll tell you what, as we wait for just 1 or 2 more minutes before we get started. Oh, there's Hannah. How you doing, Hannah? Good. Priscilla, where are you, Tiger? Let's everybody turn your cameras so we can actually see each other and communicate well. You guys are much better looking than a blank screen. Priscilla, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. I'm getting my charger for the
Okay. All right, get ready to rock and roll. It's good to see everybody here. Let's do a high and low. I want to check in with you first before we get started with the math because I haven't seen you since last week on Thursday. So give me a high and low in the chat. Tell me what's going on in your life. In anything. It doesn't have to be school related here. Tell me what's going on. I've had many seniors get accepted to college, had other things outside of school that have been going on that are neat to hear about. So you guys tell me about something. Everybody give me your high and low in the chat and let me know what's going on in your life outside of school. Okay, Jacqueline, that's good. I you better stay that way, okay? Yeah. So everybody start typing here. Give me a high and low in the chat. All right, let's break the ice by just getting to know one another and what's been going on. I've just a little bit about me. I had a few friends come over this weekend on Sunday that I haven't seen in months and months and months. So we had dinner together. So that's my high of the weekend. I got to barbecue and have 2 or 3 friends over, which was really nice because it doesn't happen as much as normal nowadays. And everybody, please turn your cameras on. Come on. You wouldn't want me to turn my camera off and my mic off. I can guarantee you that. Okay. And not only that, I've been having too many problems with seniors that when they're turning their cameras off and they don't respond either in the chat or verbally or anything, because they are not there. And those kids are not doing well. All right. So you guys need to have your cameras on at all times. Do your best, participate, have a really good attitude, and just work with me. Just try to learn something new every day and do your best. So let's see, Kylie. Oh yeah, Kylie, your hair is fun. Okay. And then, so Kylie, where do you work?
I work at a restaurant.
Uh-oh. Yeah. You probably should have thought about that first, but that's not as well, it depends on how strict the restaurant is, you know what I mean? So if it's more of a relaxed restaurant, then you probably won't have an issue, but you never know. Everybody's giving me private messages. You guys don't have to send me private messages here. You can just send them out to the class, so let people know what's going on, because I can't really read your private messages to the class like I normally do when we do the high and low of the week here, guys. It's kind of nice to know what things are going on in everybody's lives. And when we do this, it's to help you get to know each other so that when we go back to school in April, you guys actually have something in common, at least a little bit, what's going on in everybody's life, because you're not alone. So don't be afraid to put it out to everybody here. Yeah, Charlize, I understand where you're coming from. But if you need some help, I'm available in intervention, and I'll help you in any way that I can. You and I have talked many times before outside of class, so feel free to come on in. I'm available today, and I'll help you with whatever you need, okay? So I know there's a lot of stuff going on in your life, so that's understandable, totally. Damien, Nathan, Ashlyn, Josh, Maddie, where are you guys? Let me see, Mia, hung out with some friends, cool. Oh, your best friend's moving across the country for college. Well, that happens, Mia. That's part of life, right? Like, where are you going to college?
I'm planning on going to San Diego State.
Oh, cool. I've been there. I've seen a concert there in the amphitheater. And of course, that's a very popular college. You're going to enjoy that. What are you going to study there?
I'm going to do business and real estate.
Okay. Business and real estate. Well, they go hand in hand. You know what I mean? So very good. I see Matthew having major senioritis. Matthew, if you want to meet with me in intervention, we can discuss that. I mean, everybody's going through that. I mean, it's a fact of life. What you guys need to remember is that, I know that you're reaching the end of the year, and I know people call it senioritis. You're having a hard time getting things done on time. I get that. If you need encouragement, extra encouragement from me, come and see me on the side. I'll help you in intervention. We could just talk real life stuff. I'll tell you that, teachers are not exempt from that. We have a hard time dealing with all the different things that we have to do as well. Trust me, I was up till 12:30, past midnight last night, making a test for my other course. And it took me like 6 hours yesterday to develop the Canvas test, and it wasn't easy. So we're all impacted with a lot of things, whether you're a student or a teacher, and we all have to get through it, be strong, as I keep on saying. Priscilla, getting the homework done, and because of that, you're tired. I understand that. Adiana misses the beach. My son's at the beach right now. He took the day off because he's not flying today, Jacqueline. So he's at the beach hanging out with his buddy, catching some time there. John, catching up with a lot of work, learning how to balance time. Jonathan, that'll be a lifelong challenge. That never stops, okay? Because when you get to my age and you get a career going, it's actually in some ways a lot harder than being in school, because I have to take care of my family, take care of myself, and take care of you guys. And there's a lot to be done. Damien went to Carlsbad. Damien, you went to the beach? You just hung out at the beach for a little bit?
Yeah.
Carlsbad happens to be one of my favorite beaches down there. I like the little town. They have a really nice restaurants down in that little town of Carlsbad. I like it.
We went to a fresco pizza or something. It's called something like that. It was good.
Yeah. And then which project do you have to do? Which one are you working on?
I had an English project for good and bad food proposal. So like obesity and stuff.
Yeah. So there's big English projects, government projects, econ projects. Holy cow. You're lucky that I haven't thrown a huge project on you guys. You probably, who feels, just out of curiosity, that the pace I set with you guys in our class here, financial algebra, has been pretty reasonable and low key compared to the other classes? Maddie said yes, Mia, Xavier. Anybody else feel that way? Charlize a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like it's more steady this way because it's not like, because like some classes, it's like, oh, I don't have much work. Then all of a sudden a bunch of work. It's just like more constant and I can predict like what we're going to do.
Who feels the same way as Matthew right there? Well, that's good. I tried to be consistent and not, just like bombard you with a, all this kind of stuff. All right. Very good. Well, thanks for sharing, you guys. Let's get started here. Let's get to it. So you're gonna need just a basic calculator. You can use any one you want. There's no graphing or anything like that. You're gonna be just doing most of the calculating. I'll do some. And okay, so let's get started. Let me enlarge this a little bit. Now, all the mathematics in this section is extremely simple. You're either multiplying or dividing or adding. However, it's the concept behind everything that really matters. And so on this one right here, let me say this before we get started. I want you to show process, as I always say this, to get credit on your work. Show process. And in this section here, there's a lot of unit conversion, okay? It's different. And some of the stuff is kind of, I don't know, tricky, I guess. So what we're gonna do is we'll just go slow. We'll step everything out. If you guys have questions, obviously ask me as we go. And what we need to do is, since we're gonna be talking about pay periods, semi-monthly versus bi-weekly versus monthly versus quarterly and so on, I'm talking pay periods. We need to talk about the difference between semi-monthly and bi-weekly, because these two terms here in problem number 1 and then in problem number 2 are the only tricky, I think, aspects of the lesson. So that in the you have to know what unit conversion means. So what we're going to do is we're going to go off to the side real quick. We're going to go off to the side over here. If you need to get another piece of paper out, grab one real quick. And I want to talk about the difference between semi-monthly and bi-weekly before we handle this. Because believe it or not, even though they sound similar, they're different. And depending on what job you get, you may be paid semi-monthly or you may be paid bi-weekly, and they're different. There's a different number of checks per year, and that's different than monthly. I get paid once a month. All teachers get paid once a month at the end of the month. So I'm a monthly. I get paid a salary monthly, and I get paid at the end of the month. But in a lot of jobs, business jobs, you get paid semi-monthly or bi-weekly, one of the two. I know my son does at the Yard House. He's a busser, runner, server over there, and he gets paid differently. All right, so let's go off to the side. I'm going to sidetrack this for a moment, and let's talk about semi-monthly first. I know in the video, those that watch the videos, okay, not everybody's watching the videos, which is not good. You guys should watch those, because I try to hit all the points, but you can't just rely upon me. You get a more well-rounded education if you watch the videos and then come to me. Yes, Michael, I will upload this as a video. I always upload the class sessions for you guys. So, and Joshua, I just got your message. Do what you got to do. I understand that. If you miss anything, then just finish things up on your own. And of course, I will post the class session video if you guys need it. It will be where you submit your homework. Okay, so here we go, guys. Semi-monthly. Now, when you get paid semi-monthly, it changes every month, believe it or not, because not every month has 28 days, and not every month has 30 days, and not every month has 31 days. So for example, here, let's just take April, for example. Okay, if you're paid semi-monthly in April, let's say, April has 30 days, you could be paid on the 15th, okay, the 15th. And since it has 30 days, you're going to get paid at the end of the month. So if this is your pay structure, you could be paid on the 15th and the 30th, which means you're paid twice, 2 times per month. Gonna get a little pattern going here. Now, because every month has a different number of days as you go throughout the year, if you take a look at February, for example, you're not going to get paid on the 15th and the 30th. How many days does February have, you guys?
31.
Oh, be careful, be careful. February.
Oh,
There you go. Teamwork. Okay, so 28 days. And because of that, in February, you could get paid on the 14th and the 28th. Okay. And because of that, you're going to get paid twice, 2 times. That X is the times, 2 times per month. Okay. And in March, okay, March has 31 days. So if that's the case, you could be paid on the 16th and the 31st. So when you get paid semi-monthly, you're going to get paid 2 times per month, okay? But the day of the month that you get paid on varies. And that's the first thing you need to realize. Okay, so the question is like, how many paychecks do you get per year? Okay, per year. Let's talk about that because we're going to be going from annual to semi-monthly and from semi-monthly to annual. So because there's 12 months per year, this is how it goes. So if you have 2 semi-monthly paychecks, semi-monthly checks, okay, per month, okay, per 1 month. And again, I'm using a lot of abbreviations here. So if I lose you on my abbreviations, make sure you just speak up. And I'm going to be doing unit cancellation today, which is called unit conversion. So if you're not familiar with that from chemistry or from physics, Jacqueline, I think you were what, chemistry or physics that you see all that?
Physics.
Physics, yeah. Okay. It's been a while since I took physics, but I took a lot of it. So 2 semi-monthly paychecks per 1 month. And of course, there's 12 months per year. So you got to multiply it by 12 months per 1 year. Look what happens here, guys. The months cancel out, the units cancel out, and you get 2 times 12, okay, which is 24 semi-monthly checks per 1 year. So this is going to be equal to 2 times 12, which is 24. All right, semi-monthly checks, all right, per 1 year. So you're going to get paid 24 times, in other words. Okay, you're going to get paid 24 times, twice per month for 12 months. That's 24 times per year. But the day of the week, or excuse me, the day of the month changes. And when you guys get your job, you guys need to know some, things like that. Now, when it comes to bi-weekly, it's different. Bi-weekly. This is, believe it or not, it sounds similar, but it's different. Now, bi means 2, of course, so this means every 2 weeks. Now, it sounds the same, but it's different. That's why I'm starting the discussion off with this, because people get these 2 words, bi-weekly and semi-monthly, mixed up all the time. Even adults get this mixed up all the time. That's why I'm taking time to do this before we get to the problem set, because they're different. Okay, so you get paid every 2 weeks. So let's say this, that 1 bi-weekly check, WK is weekly. So 1 bi-weekly check, all right, every 2 weeks. The question is, how many times do you get paid a year? Because the answer is not 24. All right, if you get paid bi-weekly, how many times do you get paid per year? So what we need to do is convert weeks to years. So you guys tell me, how many weeks per year? You can show me on your hands if you want, or type it in the chat, one of the 2. There we go, Jonathan. There you go, everybody, 52 weeks per year. So if we multiply this by 52 weeks per 1 year, you'll notice that the weeks cancel out, the units cancel out just like numbers do. All right, and we have to take 52 up in the numerator and divide it by 2 in the denominator. And you guys know what 52 divided by 2 is? 52 divided by 2. Got to help me out a little bit here, guys. Show me your thinking. 52 in the numerator divided by 2 in the denominator gives us a total of, yes, 26 biweekly checks per year. So we get 26 biweekly checks per 1 year or in a year. So you get paid more frequently biweekly than you do semi-monthly. You get paid 26 times per year if you get paid biweekly. You get paid 24 times per year for semi-monthly. So they're different, okay? Who's with me so far here? Because this is the key to some of the work problems here when we get to the set. Charlize, you're good? You guys with me on that? They're different. It's just one of those weird things. Okay, semi-monthly means every half. Semi is half. Every half of the month you get paid, so it's twice per month, 2 times or 12 times a year, so 24 total times. But bi-weekly, you get paid 26 times. And the reason why, guys, is because there isn't 4 weeks exactly per month. There's only 1 month that has exactly 4 weeks. Which is that? Which month has exactly 4 weeks? There's only one. Which month is it? What's the only month during the year that has exactly 4 weeks?
February.
That's right. 4 times 7 is 28, and February is the only month with exactly 4 weeks. And that's why these are different here, guys, because most of the months have approximately 4 weeks. Some have less, some have more. Actually, all of them have more except February. February is the only one. So having said that, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Now we're going to use it. So again, we're going to have to show conversion factors or show the unit conversion. So on number 1 here, we got Mr. Varello here is paid semi-monthly. His annual salary is $64,333. And the question is what is his semi-monthly salary? Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off with what we know. We know this right here. We know his annual salary, annual, that means per year, $64,000. So $64,330, all right, per 1 year. Put the units in, per 1 year. Okay, we want semi-monthly salary. Okay, so we just talked about that. We said over here on the right, there's 24 semi-monthly checks or pay periods per year, or 1 year equals 24 semi-monthly checks, one of the two. So you can switch these conversion factors. So because we know that, we're going to multiply this by 1 year. Okay, there are 24 semi-monthly checks or semi-monthly pay periods, however you want to say it. So semi-monthly pay period, semi-monthly check, it's the same idea. You can either say check or pay period, it's the same idea. So what we have to do is cancel out the units. Years divided by years cancels out, and we get 64,333 divided by 24, whatever that is. And that gives you the dollars per semi-monthly pay period. So you guys do that. You guys are going to do all the, or a lot of the calculation for me here. Get your calculator going. Either use Desmos, phone calculator, I don't care what you use. Divide 64,333 by 24, round it to the nearest penny. All right, and just participate with me as best you can. There you go. So believe it or not, this is going to be the paycheck for every semi-monthly pay period or cycle. All right, it's going to be $2,680.54 per semi-monthly period. This is the semi-monthly period. So it could be, again, this could be on the 15th and the 30th if you're in April. You get paid that much twice per that month, or in February, you get paid that much on the 14th and the 28th. Or if you're in March, you're going to get paid on the 16th and the 31st. But if you get paid monthly, you're going to divide that number by 24. Okay, so it depends on how you get paid. Now, number two, you guys speak up as we go, okay? On this stuff, even though the mathematics is simple, if you're not understanding something or how I'm setting something up, you got to speak up as we go. Okay, so on number two, we got Whitaker here earns B dollars biweekly. Okay, so let's start off writing down what we know. We earn, or he earns B dollars biweekly. So B dollars biweekly. So that means every 2 weeks. Bi means 2. So every 2 weeks, he gets B dollars. There's your first conversion factor. That's what they're called. All right. His employer is changing the pay structure to monthly, but no annual sales are changing. Express his monthly salary. Monthly salary. Now this, we got to go from bi-weekly to monthly. That's what we want anyways. All right, and unfortunately, even though bi-weekly is every 2 weeks, you can't just double this because every month does not have 4 weeks. So what we need to do is we need to change it to, let's say, the years, and then from years to months to get into this. So we know that there's 52 weeks per year. We know that. 52 weeks per year. We know that. So now we have dollars per year. If you cancel out the units right now, weeks cancel out and we have dollars per year. But we want dollars per month. We want a monthly salary. So then we use something that we are also familiar with. We know that there's 12 months per 1 year, or 1 year per 12 months. For every 1 month, or excuse me, for every 1 year, sorry, there are 12 months. And then if you cancel out those units here, the years cancel out, and you get dollars in the numerator and you get months in the denominator. So this is dollars per month, which represents your monthly salary. The question is, what is this? So let's look in the numerator first. When you multiply a bunch of fractions together, you multiply their numerators. So let's take a look at the numerators here. I see B dollars times 52 times 1. So that's 52B. In the denominator, I see something different. So let's look in the denominator here. This is how you multiply fractions. 2 times 12. Well, times 1. So 2 times 12 times 1 is 24. So 24 months. So now we have 52B dollars divided by 24 months. So we have dollars per month. This is the monthly salary. But we got to simplify that a little bit, because it's a fraction. We're always trained to simplify fractions ever since you're a little kid. So how do you simplify 52 24ths? What are they divisible by? You can use your fingers here. What's that fraction 52 over 24 divisible by? Common factors. Show me on your hands. Or in the chat, one of the two. 4, 2, maybe 2 or 4. Well, what is that? So let's divide 52 by 4. So let's divide them both by 4 and simplify it. What's 52B divided by 4? We gotta divide these guys. What do we get? Are you guys understanding what Mia's doing here? So 52 divided by 4 is 13. So we get 13B up top. Okay, we're dividing by 4, common factor. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Okay, you simplify your fraction. And so this is your monthly salary because this is per month. So it's 13B divided by $6 per month. Did you guys follow the canceling of units there? Give me some feedback, guys. Yes, no, maybe. You're being kind of quiet here. There we go. Matthew, are you, I know Michael has a camera problem, but Matthew, are you good? Hopefully Matthew comes back. Okay. All right, let's talk about number 3. Now, number 1 and 3 are related, okay? So let's see if we can handle number 3. Mrs. Frederick here is paid semi-monthly. Important. Her semi-monthly salary, in this case, they give it to you. The semi-monthly salary is $1,641.55. Okay, semi-monthly. Ooh, we got one more person coming in. That's good. All right, and so what is her annual salary? So we know the semi-monthly salary is this. So we know that she gets paid $1,641.55 every semi-monthly period. Semi-monthly period. Now we want to convert this to annual. So we got to multiply it by something. So what we need to do is we need to understand how many semi-monthly periods do we have per year. So what's that? What did we talk in the very beginning here? What was that magic number here? How many times do we get paid if we get paid semi-monthly? Okay, and Mia is killing it in the chat here. Do you guys follow here? We talked about how there's, in the very beginning, we get paid, if you're semi-monthly, you get paid semi-monthly here, you get paid, basically paid twice a month on different days, depending on the month. But since there's 12 months per year, you get paid 24 times. So on this one here, there are 24 semi-monthly periods. They call it periods or paychecks, either one, same thing, per 1 year. Notice the units cancel. And you get dollars in the numerator and years in the denominator. That's dollars per year. So you have to multiply 1641.55 times 24, which is a much bigger number because this is a yearly salary. It's called an annual. So what would that be? What would that be? You guys help me out a little bit here. Jay Round, it's good to see you here. We're working on section 5 too, obviously, bud. Come on, you guys, speed it up here. Work it out. You got to be working out on your end here. And you can't let Mia carry the chat. So Mia, I'm gonna have you count to 30 or something. Okay, because we all have to participate. Okay, thank you, Priscilla, for verifying that. Okay, so this one here, again, you want to calculate. The better you are at the calculator in this class, the more successful you're going to be, because well, getting good at that is a skill. Okay, $39,397.20 per year. It's an annual. This is an annual. So make sure you put slash and then YR for years. Always put the units. That's important, by the way. So when you take your free response quiz or test, we're gonna have a free response later on. You got to put the units in. Is it per week, per year, per 2 weeks, per semi-annual? You got to put the units in. Okay, on number 4, we're gonna skip. I put that little note in Canvas. Let's go to number 5. Unless you guys have questions. I don't want to just blast through this. I want to make sure you guys fully understand it so that you could finish the lesson on your own when we're done, because I'm not going to do this entire thing today. I'm going to do a lot, but not the entire thing. Any questions up to this point? Anything? All right. Well, give me a smile out there, guys. Let me see some big smiles. Now, you guys are a tough group. I got one from Kylie, maybe one a little bit from a few of you guys. Oh, Maddie just gave me one there. Okay. All right, let's continue here. It's just one of those crazy days. Oh, Ashlyn, yeah, stick around. Yeah, we could do that. No problem. I shouldn't have to take the entire period. It should only take about an hour or so. Okay, number 5. Here we go. Julianne works as a should be waitress right there. I think it's waitress. Yeah. At a local Emerald Monday restaurant. Her regular hourly wage is $15.50. Okay, that's obviously important. There's the hourly wage. Okay. She regularly works 40 hours per week. What is her regular weekly pay? Okay, two things right here. So we know how many hours a week she's working, and the question is, what is the weekly pay? Okay. Well, let's see, typically, depending on your units here, rate times gives you total pay. Rate times time typically gives you total pay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your rate, which is $15.50 per hour. So here we go. So $15.50 per hour. And we're going to multiply it by the number of hours per week. So it's rate times time, 40 hours. So 40 hours per week. So per 1 week. So we got a rate multiplied by the time. Make sure the units cancel, like hours cancel, and you get dollars per week. Okay, rate times time gives you pay. You might want to write that down somewhere. Rate times time gives you the pay, depending on what your rate is. Okay, what would that be? What's 15.50 times 40? Okay, so that times, okay, you guys are saying 620, very good, okay. So 620 per week, WK, okay, always put the units. Go slash means per, and you go per week. That's a weekly pay. Not a bi-weekly pay, not a monthly pay, not an annual pay, that's a weekly pay, so every week. Now, if she works 50 weeks at this rate, what is her annual salary? So if she works 50 weeks, so that's key. So here we go. Let's start off with what we know. We know that she gets $620 for every week. Now let's say there's 52 weeks in a year, but she only works 50 out of the 52. So she has vacation days. She takes 2 weeks off for vacation, which is important in life. You got to have a break sometime. I mean, everybody should be taking a break sometime. So she's going to be working 50 weeks during the 1 year, 2 weeks off. Notice the units cancel, weeks cancel, and you get dollars per year. So what would her annual salary be? That's the question on this one here. So it's a much bigger number now. So 620 times 50 gives you what?
$31,000.
31,000. Yeah, per what, Matthew?
Per year.
There you go, because it's annual. Very good. Okay. You know, what's cool about this course is that it's all real life stuff. There's nothing that we're doing in this lesson right now that you guys will not have to figure out later on in life, because everybody has to work and everybody's going to get paid doing something somehow. And so this is all applicable for you guys. And those people that are working now are probably experiencing some of this. Like my son works at the art house and he gets paid bi-weekly. So, I mean, it's like real life stuff. Okay, which is kind of nice. You can't say, Ainsworth, when are we going to use this? Because it's already happening for some of you guys that have jobs. Speaking of that, who's got a job? Who's already working? So only 3 or 4 people, 5 people. Okay. So it's already, I don't know how you guys are getting paid, but you got to get paid either bi-weekly, semi-monthly, once a month like me. Teachers get paid once a month. And you got to be paid in some kind of structure. And if you don't know, ask your employer, how are they figuring things out? Okay. Choose number 6. Okay, let's do number 6. What the heck? Okay. So Mr. Lewis regularly works 8 hours per week. There's your rate. That's important. Oh, excuse me. That's the number. That's the time, actually. That's your time. So 8 hours per week is your time. Your rate of $5 per hour. There's your rate. Okay, and you want to You want to figure out what the annual salary is. Holy cow. Okay, so here we go. So we got H hours per week. Let's start off with what we know. So H hours per 1 week. WK is per week. H hours per 1 week. Okay, and you just multiply all your conversion factors. The second one, we know that this person, Mr. Lewis, makes Y dollars per hour. Y dollars per hour. So let's use that. So Y dollars per 1 hour. So already you can see that the units are canceling kind of nicely. Hours cancel out and you get dollars per week, but we want annual. It says, what's the annual? So we have to use one more fact here. We have to know how many weeks in a year, because now we have dollars per week. We need to know how many weeks per year. So our last conversion factor is that we know that there's 52 weeks, 52 weeks, WKS is weeks per 1 year. And if you multiply those together, you should get an annual salary, because the units, the weeks cancel out, and you're going to get dollars in the numerator. So look at that dollar sign, and you're going to get years in the denominator. That's dollars per year. That's an annual. So look at that. Kylie put out that she gets paid the 5th and the 20th. You know, each. So you're semi-monthly, Kylie. That's semi-monthly, not bi-weekly. So I mean, it might sound like it's like almost spread out by 2 weeks, but not exactly, because the difference between 5 and 20 is not 14. So it's a little bit different. You're a semi-monthly person. Okay. So what's going on here? Let's multiply together. So in the numerator, we got H times Y times 52. So 52 HY dollars. So put dollar sign. And then 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So you get per year in the denominator. So 52 HY per year. It's because they asked you to write the annual salary algebraically. Okay, using variables, obviously. Okay. Now, number 7 deals with time and a half. So overtime. So overtime comes into play with certain professions. Not mine. I don't get. Unfortunately, teachers don't get paid overtime. But if you work in a grocery store and you're a grocery clerk or a cashier, you get paid overtime on holidays like Thanksgiving, Easter, not Easter, Christmas, and things like that. You get time and a half or double time, depending on the company. Also, firemen get paid overtime. If they go over a certain amount of hours, they get paid overtime. So they have a huge potential to get overtime as a fireman. And I know that for a fact because my wife's dad is a retired captain, and my wife's brother just became a fireman, and he's able to work a lot of overtime hours and really increase his pay, which is kind of nice. And this is how it works. So let's check this scenario out. So Mrs. Roper here works 40 hours per week. Okay, we need to know that regularly. Okay, at a rate of $16.20 per hour. There's your hourly rate. By the way, a 40-hour work week is standard. Typically in the workplace, if you work over 40 hours, that's considered overtime. So 40 hours is the typical work week. When she works overtime, her rate is time and a half. That's important right there. Okay, time and a half of her regular hourly rate. And the question is, what's her overtime rate? So overtime, OT. So overtime rate, let's talk about that. There's 2 ways to calculate it. And it doesn't matter how you do it, it's as long as you understand it. So the overtime rate is time and a half. That's the key. There's 2 types of overtimes. There's time and a half and there's double time. Double time is easier because you just multiply by 2. But time and a half, you got to take your regular rate and add half of it. Okay? Or if you can understand, here's the easy way to do it. I'll do it the easy way, the way I do it. I just take 1.5, which is 1.5. Okay, 1.5 is 1.5, and I multiply it by the rate, which is 16.20. This is the quick and dirty way to do it. If you take 1.5 and multiply it by your normal rate, your regular pay, and you get your rate per hour. Okay, so what would that be? What's 1.5 times the 16.20? $16.20 per hour. What would that be?
It's 24.30.
Okay, that's
Dollars.
per hour.
Yeah, per hour. Yeah.
Right. So that's what the overtime rate would be. Now, if you can't do that in your head, and most people can't, then you can do it this way. Okay, so let's put or. Okay. This the other way you can do it is you take your regular pay, which is $16.20, and then add half. So what would half of that be? What's half of 1620? You guys should be able to do that in your head. What's half of $16.20? There you go, Kylie. Yeah. So $8.10. So what you do is you add those numbers. And when you add 1620 plus half of that, that's time and a half, you get 2430. When I do this in my head, if I was converting time and a half, that's how I would do it mentally. Most people have a hard time doing 1.5 times 16.20 in their head. That's right off the cuff. So usually I do it on the second method here. I just take half of it and add it to my pay. And that's involved in, let's say, I think number 9. So let's use this technique in number 9. Number 8's on your own, okay? Let's take this technique and let's apply it to number 9. So Kylie, do you have potential to work overtime in your job? Does anybody have potential to work overtime in their jobs? There's 3 or 4 of you guys that are working right now. Does anybody have potential to get overtime pay? Fair enough. Okay. But that's how it works. So on this one here, if you work over 40 hours, you're going to get overtime. So number 9, check this out. Mr. Ed earns $15.50 per hour. There's your regular pay or regular rate. His regular hours are 40 per week. Okay, anything over 40 is overtime. And it receives time and a half overtime for anything over the 40. So the question says is find his total pay for the week, which includes 45 hours. So in this problem here, we want to find the total paycheck. What would that be? So we want to figure out what the regular pay at 40 hours is. Again, rate times time is always, that's how you always calculate your pay, rate times time. So this is, we have to step this one out. So step 1, we got to take the rate of $15.50 per hour and multiply it by 40 hours per week. So $15.50 per hour. And we're going to multiply it by 40 hours per week. This will give us the pay, the overall pay for the first 40 hours. After that, we have to recalculate the overtime. So help me out with that, guys. What's 40 times 15.5? Okay, so that's $620 per week. Okay, $620 per week. Now that's step 2. Let's go to step 2. We got to calculate the overtime pay. Overtime pay. So we need to get the overtime rate. So the OT rate first. So how do you guys want to do this? Do you want to take the rate multiplied by 1.5, or you want to take the rate of $15.50 and take half of that and add it? So either way, we need to pick one of those methods up top in number 7. In order, if you're going to take a half of $15.50, you have to know what that is. Or you just take 1.5 times $15.50, however you want to do it. But I need help with that. What's 1.5 times $15.50 to get the overtime rate? So Kylie, let me know what you get there. Take 1.5 times your normal rate. What would be the OT, the overtime rate? There you go, Jonathan. Charlize, there you go, $23.25. So the overtime rate is $23.25. See, it's considerably more, guys. Time and a half is really, really good. Now let's figure out the overtime pay. So what we're going to do is we got to take step 3. We got to take your $23.25 per hour now, per hour, and multiply it by number of hours. So how many hours of overtime did we work, or did Mr. Ed work? Yeah, so 45 is 5 more than 40, okay? Anytime you go over 40 hours in a work week, you consider that overtime. So we have to multiply this by 5 hours for overtime. What would that be? So what's 2325 times 5? Okay, so for the overtime, just for the overtime, it's $116.25. Okay, so this is for the 5 hours. So we have two big numbers to consider here. So we made, or Mr. Ed made $620 for the first 40 hours. He made $116.25 more. So the end result, we got to add the two numbers to get the total pay. So we got to take your 620 and add it to the 116.25. Can you guys help me out with that there? What would the total be for that, for Mr. Ed in that one there?
Yeah, the number is 736 and 25 cents.
That's right. For the 45 hours total. Very good. Okay. And that's going to happen to you guys. You're going to have, depending on what career path you take, will dictate whether you have overtime potential or not. But it really pays to get the overtime if it's available. Time and a half is a lot, which is kind of cool. Okay, let's pause here. Any questions up to this point? Give you guys a chance to reflect on all this stuff, because this is real life stuff here. I want to make sure you guys understand it. Jacqueline, should we all stand up and do a stretch break? Maybe do some calisthenics? Okay, we'll continue. I always mess around with you guys. Okay. Let's do, there is a key problem on the backhand side. Let's see, which one is it here? Yeah, number 11, number 11. So number 11's unique. So let's do number 11 together, and we'll probably be good after that. So let's check this out. Chrissy worked 40 regular hours last week. Okay, that's the total time. So that's obviously important. Plus 8 hours overtime at time and a half. So that's the second piece of information that's important. Her gross pay. Does anybody know what gross pay means? Gross versus net.
Gross is before, like, all the money you made before taxes and other expenses.
Okay, so gross pay before taxes. Okay, and then after they take your taxes out, you get something called net pay, and that's after taxes. When I get my pay, when I get paid at the end of the month, I see my net pay. Well, I see both, but what I put in the bank is what I get after the taxes. They take out state taxes and federal taxes. They take out a lot. Believe it or not, they take out about 1/3 of what I make. 1/3. And they just take it away, and they put it some to state and some to federal. I don't even get to see that. All right. So what's the hourly rate? So the question is what's the hourly rate? Ooh, don't know. Well, if you don't know it, you got to give it a name. All right. So let's let X equal the rate. Okay, the hourly rate. Okay, it's obviously a dollar amount, dollars per hour. Don't know what it is. Okay, but we do know that rate times time, as I said earlier today, rate times time is equal to what you get paid. Key concept. We've done it multiple times already. So rate times time gives you the amount that you get paid overall. So I'm gonna have to do this one off to the side here. So let's set up maybe an equation or something that we can help figure out what this is. Okay, so let's figure out what she gets paid for the 40-hour work week. Okay, so we got the amount of money for the 40 hours. No, that's not a good way to put it. We have the amount of money for the first 40 hours plus the overtime pay. So regular pay plus overtime pay gives you the total. Well, we should probably write that down. Okay, so regular pay plus overtime pay, that's going to be equal to the overtime, or the total, excuse me, which is 785. So which represents your total, or 785 looks like in 20 cents. So we need to figure this stuff out. We need to figure out how to calculate the regular pay. So I need some help with that. We have an hourly rate of X. That's our hourly rate. We don't know what it is X. And we do know that we work 40 hours. So what's the pay for that portion right there? I need your help a little bit. Start thinking. How do you calculate the regular pay? Worked 40 hours a week, we make X dollars per hour. The key is at the top of the screen. Rate times time gives your what you get paid. You always take your hourly rate, or whatever your rate is, multiply by how much time you work.
Would it be like 40x equals and then like the total amount?
Yeah, for the regular part. So you're working or you make X dollars per hour for 40 hours. So we're going to use these two here. So 40 hours, or excuse me, 40 hours times your hourly rate, which is X, it's unknown, plus your overtime pay. So what, use the same idea. What's the overtime rate? In fact, let's talk about that first. Overtime rate, what is that? Let's talk about that first before we get the overtime pay.
Yeah, you gotta so if you have 8 hours, you'd put it as like 8x, and then you have to multiply that number by the overtime rate, which is 1.5.
Okay, so Charlize and Mia, did you follow what he said right there? Okay, so the overtime rate is 1.5 times whatever X is, but then you're working 8 hours overtime. So it's what you guys said in the chat times the overtime rate. So it's going to be it's going to be 8x times 1.5 as Matthew just said it. So times 1.5. Might want to simplify that a little bit. Can you guys multiply 1.5 times 8? What's 1.5 times 8? Let's simplify this portion right here. Looks kind of gnarly. There you go, Jonathan, Shirley. So 8 times 1.5 is just 12. So let's simplify this. 40x plus 12x is equal to 785 and 20 cents. We should probably combine like terms. Just do a simple algebra here. 40 and 12 is 52. Remember, X is the hourly rate. That's what I said in the very beginning. This is what we're trying to solve for here. Like what is Chrissy making per hour? That's what we're solving for. What do you guys suggest now? We got 52x equals 785.2.
We gotta isolate the variable, so we have to divide on both sides.
Divide by what?
Divide by 52.
And Jonathan agrees. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And this is the hourly rate. What are you guys coming up with there? Okay, so 15, yeah, You guys agree, $15.10 per hour. That is your hourly rate. Okay. So like I was saying earlier here, the mathematics is not difficult. You're either multiplying or dividing, one of the two, sometimes adding. It's the setup and the process that actually is the important thing. So when you guys try the rest on your own, you're going to try the rest with exception of number 14. You can skip this one, and then you can do this, all these on your own as well. When you do these, make sure you do a couple things. Show process and setup like you normally do. Make sure you put the units in. And since Ainsworth gives you the answers, you go into find out into the student resource folder in Canvas, get the chapter 5 answers and check your work as you go. Okay, and then when our next session, we can discuss this. So speaking of that, I sent this out as on a message in Canvas, but let me pull it up just to give you guys the week agenda so you don't have any surprises. So let me pull up Canvas real quick. I sent a message to you guys this morning, letting you know the plan for the week. Okay, so here's the plan for the week. So today's obviously Tuesday. We covered 5-2. You guys can finish that today. I would highly suggest you just do it as soon as possible. If you want to crank it out right now, that'd be great. If you feel like taking a lunch break and then get back to it. But get it done early nonetheless, because too many students are waiting too long at night, and the senior rate I don't know if you guys noticed the attendance today. It's not good at all. Like there are 10 to 12 people that didn't show up to class. There's so many that I see right now I'm seeing a lot of seniors drop off the ball, and I don't like seeing that. So try to be timely, try to get your things done on time, get them done early. Take that weight off your shoulders, and you'll also feel much better about yourself. And then when you come to class on Thursday, we're going to do two things. We're going to start with a discussion on 5.1 and 5.2. If there's anything on either section that you need to go through a little bit more, I'll be happy to answer any questions. And then following the questions, I'll do a little review because we'll have plenty of time. And then I just want to end it with a little mini quiz over the first two sections at the end of class on Thursday. And then the weekend homework is just getting ready for the next week and watch your video on section 3. So having said that, do you guys have any questions or needs before I give you guys time? Okay, now I know a few of you guys wanted to stick around and talk to me, so you can do that, and I'll discuss anything you guys need. Remember, intervention's always available in the afternoon. And if you need help with anything, doing a homework problem, life in general, life stuff, I don't care what it is, come on in, talk to me, and we'll chat, and I'll help you out in any way that I can. And so that's always an option there. So good discussion here today, guys. Thanks for the participation. You guys have a good day. I'll see you in 2 days on Thursday, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. Okay, you guys take care. Give me some smiles out there. Okay. And I'll see you guys soon.
What time is the intervention?
It always starts at 1:10, Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm always available. So come on in anytime.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Good man. I'll see you soon, buddy.
Okay, see you.
Okay, good job today, by the way. Ashlyn, what's on your mind?
So I have been spending like way too much money on things that I don't need, and I really need to budget. And so I'm setting up my March budget how you taught us back in January or December. Can I share my screen with you?
Oh, of course. Let me change the settings here.
Okay.
Can you share now?
Yeah. Okay, so I had this all set up for January and then I forgot about it and I just started with March. So my mom, she gives me about $80 a month and she sometimes pays for my gas. And then each paycheck, I get paid bi-weekly. Each paycheck is about $400 and I just asked for more hours, so it'll probably go up to like 450, I'd say. So from work, it'll be like 450.
But it'd be
And
times
then-
2, right? Because you get paid bi-weekly.
Oh yeah. So that would be 900, right?
Okay.
And then the only fixed expense I really have is Spotify, and that's about $13.
Go ahead and put that. Yeah. Good. So she pays for your phone and
Yeah, I
gas
don't
and
have to
everything?
worry about that until I'm like 20 something.
Okay. So she pays for your gas as well to travel back and forth from work.
Only sometimes.
Then you need to put a gas expense in there. So put in gas.
Okay. So it's about 45 for a full tank. Because
How many do
yeah.
you have to fill up every week?
I usually go every 4 days, so about twice a week, but I've been driving less. So I'd say maybe once every 5 days I'll be getting gas.
So and it's 45. Let's round up to 60. So that's 60 per week. That's 240 per month.
Oh
So
wow.
that's going to be around 240.
240, okay. And then I'm not buying clothes right now. I don't need to buy clothes. I'm not eating out anymore because that's expensive. But I probably should put a miscellaneous cost in there.
You know what you could do? Well, since you have a spreadsheet here, you can copy all the cells in orange up there above it and then paste it down below and then just put zeros in the ones that you don't that you're not spending on.
Okay.
So you can do that, or you can retype everything. But what's cool about a spreadsheet is that you can copy the whole thing. So press Control C now,
Okay.
and then go to.
Would I delete this or?
Yeah, you can delete it, and then
There we go.
okay, there you go. See, and now
Okay.
put a 0 in or change your numbers in there. Just change it to 240.
What did we have? 240?
Yeah, and then if you're not spending there, you can put a 0 in there if you want. Now, do you go out and meet your friends and go out to dinner or lunch or something like that?
Sometimes when I have time.
On average, how many times per week?
I'd say like once or twice.
And how much do you spend when you meet your friends when you go out?
It depends. It's probably like I try to save money when I'm out. I'd say like $20. So
That's once a week?
yeah, once or twice.
Okay, so that's 40 a week times 4. That's 160 a month. So
Okay.
you got a budget 160 for, well, don't put miscellaneous, put down lunch with friends or yeah, just, or you could say, or you can call it, or going out, or you can say entertainment.
Okay.
You know, you could say that too.
I like that better.
Entertainment is a general, that includes like movie theaters and, you know, it's the typical things that people do. And it's a lot bigger than you think, because when you go out, you spend money on all sorts of things. Yeah, there you go. Copy that and paste it down below.
Okay. So there are no birthdays this month. There's no Christmas. Make that holidays.
There you go.
And then
Make that.
nothing for the anniversary this month. So no holiday expenses. When's Mother's Day? That's May, right?
Oh, sure. I'm not good at that. I always Google that or I put it on my calendar and it pops up because I always forget that.
I don't think it's March.
Okay, hang on. Siri, when is Mother's Day? Okay, May 9th.
Oh, so we're good for March. Okay. Savings. So
how
I
much do you
have
want?
to start putting money in a savings account. I have a savings account. Oh, and I forgot to mention that this month's paycheck isn't going to be as big. So should I change this? Because I only worked 2 days for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, you definitely change it. And
Okay,
then,
so I got 70, I think, and then I'll get 400 for the next, unless I get more hours. But I'll just say 470 for now.
so you need to write a formula for the money that you're bringing in minus all your expenses, as well as savings. So it'll give you what's called a net number.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, this.
oh, okay. Oh, you did put that in there. I didn't see that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the net income. Let me see, it's B6 minus E6. Good, minus B16. Okay, and all those other ones, E16 and H16. Good. Okay, and then you're going to have to put that net income into your in the March.
So I can copy this again.
I
Or no.
don't think, no, you wouldn't copy that. So if you copy the entire previous month and then pasted the entire previous month, that probably would have been okay. But since you're copying portions of it at a time, I don't think that's going to work. So just put in net income.
Okay.
And then go equals, we'll do a formula. So equals, there you go, B23, and then minus,
Minus.
and then E20, or you can do it any order you want. So just click on the cells that
Okay.
you want to subtract. Just click on all of them and go minus. Make sure you enter the minus sign. There you go. And then minus the savings too, because that has to be taken into account.
Okay.
All right, so so we have net income. Click on the row 25, the number 25, and highlight the entire row. Go right click on it.
And I don't
And
really have a right click. I
oh,
don't know how to explain it, but my mouse pad is different. I have a newer MacBook and it's kind of just one click.
oh,
Oh,
there we go.
insert
I-
one below.
Yeah, okay. You knew what I was gonna do. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out, but
Oh, you just did.
obviously couldn't. So this can be purple,
There you go.
how it was, and it's bold.
You
So
obviously learned
that,
something.
what is this number?
That is the number that you have left over after you put money in the savings, which you have a 0 in there right now. So you haven't put any money in the savings. So you got to put a number in there. So put a number in there, like 50
I
bucks.
want to say 150 from each paycheck. I obviously can't do that right now. I have to wait till my next
Okay.
paycheck.
See how it changed to
Yeah.
$12.99. So you're not bringing enough money in, which tells you that you have to ask for more hours at work.
Okay, I did that.
Yeah. Or your
Well,
mom has to help you out a little bit more this month, maybe. Say, hey, mom, I'm not able to pay
paying for my gas
expenses
today,
in-
so
because your gas expense is huge.
yeah, it really is. I don't know why it's so big. My gas tank just goes,
What
I burn gas like nothing.
kind of car do you have?
I have a Toyota Camry.
Oh, that's a nice car. So,
It is.
and in the gas mileage, it's got to be decent. What do you get, like 25 to 32 or
I
something?
think it's 18 miles per gallon or 17, and the
That's
tank
it?
holds 17 or 18.
What?
It might be different, but I remember those two numbers.
What year is it?
2014.
Wow, I'm shocked that it gets so
Toyota
low gas mileage.
Camry.
You know, you
Um,
also have to figure out oil changes in here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't had to get that done yet. So,
Well,
oh,
I only
okay.
mentioned
So
that.
it's
because-
up to 25 in the city and 35 on the highway.
Okay, that sounds a little, that's better for you. But you
Yeah,
must,
that
where-
sounds
how,
right.
how far away is your work? Because you're driving a lot.
It's like 11 minutes away. It's not far.
Then you must be driving a lot.
I
doing
drive
something
my
else.
sister to school, but that's by Walmart and I live in Wolf Creek. So it's not that far. I don't know what I use all my gas on, but it just goes away. Like, I don't know.
So let me challenge you on something. Financial advisors will have you, well, all of it, it doesn't matter who you talk to. Any financial advisor that is working with someone on this sort of thing, for figuring out where they're spending their money and how to minimize expense while saving as much money as possible, will have you keep track of your expenses for an entire at least 30 days or more, so you can see that your patterns, because you don't
Okay.
know where your money's going.
That's
So
true.
you need to get a little,
Checkbook.
yeah,
My mom has one.
yeah, a checkbook, or it could be anything really. You can print off a blank spreadsheet and you keep track of every single expense that you make.
Okay. I do
And
that
then,
with my gas. I keep track of how much I spend and when I spend it, but that's in my car.
or
So,
you could go to your spreadsheet here, and every night, at the end of the night, you could change your spreadsheet and add to your spreadsheet. So if you go spend
okay.
something, you can change your numbers on your spreadsheet, which would automatically calculate everything for you. And if there's going to be you're going to find out also that there's going to be some things on there that are not put in there, because there's always miscellaneous expenditures that you don't keep track of that really affect your overall net income.
Yeah.
So keep track of it. You take a little notebook around with you, something to keep track of everything. When you get home, modify your spreadsheet and get a good habit of doing this, either every night or once a week, and update your spreadsheet. And at the end of the month, you can figure out where your money's going.
Okay.
And then after you figure out where your money's going, then you say, okay, I'm spending too much money over here, so I got to cut back here so I can save money here. Because
Okay.
you got a good goal that you're saving. You said 150 per month.
I'm gonna start trying to, yeah.
You want to, and there's something
Oh,
also. Do you remember me
I
saying
see.
something about the 10% or 20% rule?
Yeah.
If you save 10% of every, or up 10, and no less than 10%, but up to 20% of your paycheck, every paycheck, and you do that for the rest of your life, you're going to be better off than most people in the entire world.
Okay.
And 20% is better just because it takes a lot more money to retire when you get to that age.
Mm-hmm.
So if you use the 20% rule, they'd be better. You just multiply your paycheck by 20% or 0.2, and then that's how much money you put in the bank. And just do that every single paycheck, if you
Okay,
can.
so can I change this to
You can
this?
write a formula. Write it.
Yeah.
So go equals
This
times.
times 0.2.
Yep.
Okay.
And then go into F20 to next to it, to the right.
20. This one.
Yeah, and type in save 20% of your paycheck. Just type that in. Save 20% of your paycheck.
Okay. Oops. I don't
Now,
like.
yeah, and remember, you get paid bi-weekly, so when you get paid, you're gonna have to adjust your work amount, because right now it's at 470, but if you get that twice every 2 weeks or twice a month, roughly on average, you're gonna have to modify that number. So just modify it as your paychecks come in.
Okay.
you know, because we're talking about the entire month of March. So if you get paid twice during March, you're going to have to modify your pay.
Okay. Um,
And then again, you have to keep track of all your expenses for an entire month to really see where your money's going. And then when you do, you'll probably be enlightened and you go,
yeah.
aha, I didn't know I had so much money going into this area. Oh, I got to cut
Mhm.
back. So I can put money over in this area over here. And then you can also talk to your mom and show her this and say, hey, mom, I'm doing the best I can. I'm going through school. I'm working as many hours as I can, but I'm struggling. Can you maybe help me out a little bit more on the gas this month? Because your gas is the biggest expense.
Well, so she paid for my gas last time I got gas and this time. I'd say she pays for it maybe like 25% of the time.
So
So
one time
should
out of
I
four.
lower this?
Yeah. So if she pays for 1 week or about a fourth of it, then you can subtract maybe $60 out of that. So go.
Okay, so it would be 180.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not as bad. Oh, I have $3. Cool. It's surprising logging into my bank account and seeing how much money I have. It's fun every time.
Well, you know what? You're the first student this year that that I know of that I had an impact on in respect to the spreadsheets that we talked about last semester. And it's just neat to see that you're actually taking something I've taught you and actually applying it to your own life. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, when I see something or learn something that interests me, I'm like, I have to do this. And this, I need to save money. I suck at saving money. So when I saw this, I was like, I have to do something like this.
Oh,
So
yeah. And most people do suck at saving money.
yeah,
And I mean, right now, I mean, we bought a much bigger house. It's way more demanding than we originally thought. So at times, you know, we have a challenge too of paying all the bills and doing all the fun things that we want to do, because it's not easy when you have a family, own a home, and you know me, I've animals back there,
mhm,
you know, and they're not free. I mean, they cost quite a
yeah,
bit of money. It's shocking how much we have to pay for all the animals in the back, but everybody has to do this and keep track of their money and realize where your money goes. And you do that by keeping track of your expenses. So take something in your purse everywhere you go. Every time you just write it down, write a little note down,
mhm,
and then either once a week or every night, modify your spreadsheet. And then at the end of the month, you can look back at it and go, oh, this is where it all goes.
mhm, yeah. Um, so I also make money from tips, but I don't really know how I would add that in because it's not constant. It changes every day. I get a different amount. Um,
Well,
so
you can separate the work into two
yeah,
categories. You can add a row, like
yeah,
right
because I
above
can
row.
add it every time that I get more tips. I can make it a bigger number,
Yeah, you
right?
can do that. That's if you don't spend it. So you gotta be careful
Yeah,
because when you get tips, it's cash. You're talking about cash, right?
yeah,
So as long as you just don't go out there and spend it, you can add that in the total, or add in the total. But if you go out there and spend it, then you're gonna have to deduct it somewhere else.
yeah.
So again, that's where you might want to put in another row above row 22, insert a row above row
Okay.
22, and then put in work tips.
Tips. Okay.
And
And then
then that
I
way you
just
can see
add
the
to it.
difference. Yeah, you just, whatever, you bring $50 home, you can type in, 50 in there.
Oh, I wish I made 50. That would be
No, I'm
nice.
just making numbers up.
I know.
So, so you can
Okay.
see how much, you get in tips over the month too.
Okay.
It's good to have like separate categories.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you spend something in a new category, you got to add that into your spreadsheet
Okay.
if it's not listed already. Because there's a lot of things that people spend money on that aren't in that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you're young.
I'll watch myself over the next month or so. I'll talk to my mom about getting me one of her. She has like a check register book,
Mhm.
and I want one. I've been wanting one. So I'll talk to her about getting one of those, and I'll start logging everything that I spend, and I'll figure it out, and I'll have a better budget spreadsheet for next month.
Yeah, and then we could revisit this conversation. You can
Okay.
show me what's going on, later on once you figured things out. I'd be interested to see what you
Okay.
realized. That'd be a cool conversation.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. I enjoyed
Alright.
that.
Have a good day.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we can
Okay.
do this. We can do this anytime, Ashlyn. Good talking with
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.